When it comes to grammar, young learners progress from simply imitating the language they hear to noticing how the language is structured. At this point, word order becomes important. I use this activity to help my students notice the word order of the grammar they're learning. Ask them to look at a grammar exercise they've just finished, like this one, for example, in which students completed each sentence with was or were. Now ask them to write 5 similar sentences about themselves, their friends, and their family. Tell them the sentences must be true. Check their sentences for any mistakes and correct them, asking the student to rewrite it correctly. Now give each student a copy of the grid. Tell the students to write their sentences on the grid, 1 word for a square. Give them another copy of the grid if they need it. It should look something like this. Once students have finished writing their sentences, give them each a small envelope. Ask them to cut along the lines of the grid like this. Once they've cut all of the words, tell them to put them in their envelope. Ask them to think of a secret password. Have them write their password on the front of the envelope. Tell them it's important for them to remember their password and not to tell anyone. Collect the envelopes as the students finish, and then give 1 envelope to each student. Ask the students to put the sentences in the correct order and write them in their notebooks. Tell them to read the sentences. Can they guess who wrote them? This activity helps students develop their critical thinking skills by leading them to notice the patterns in the language they're learning. As students use the grammar to write true sentences about themselves, they personalize their learning even further.